Morning, everybody. Had a little late start. I had to bring my daughter to a camp earlier. Was going to do an earlier stream, but I decided to do it later. That way I'm not crunched. And I wouldn't even be able to give you proper scenarios because of the non-farm payrolls and unemployment. I would have been done. It would have been pointless. So here I am. All right. Now, unemployment went down. Right. So it's going to be harder for the Fed, the rate hikes, to raise, to, to do a rate hike. That's why the market's pushing up a little bit. Okay. Yesterday was friggin' weird. That's all I can say. You had money flows coming out of semis in the memory stocks, Micron, SanDisk, and they continued their decline this morning. In Asia, the Kospi was down again, went down 7% at one point. So remember, we just had a record quarter and profit taking ensued. I still think the story's pretty strong with Micron, with the supply shortage, so who knows? That's what happened yesterday. Okay? So now that the unemployment numbers are in, let's see. I know my spread hit an all-time high of that dispersion in the core 3M spread. This market is in uncharted territory in that case. Big stock pickers market. Okay, still is. Okay, when these markets start to act more normal, I think we're going to roll and get its correction, but I don't know when that's going to happen. Okay, like I said, timing's a really hard thing. Yesterday, okay, why is this not? Give me a sec here. Okay, so yesterday, just give you a quick preview here. I'll get into it later. The SPY hit its weekly expected move. Okay, SPY hit its weekly expected move. Like I said, there's a bunch of stocks here that has done the same. Okay, that's just a data point. That's all it is. All right. Now let's get right into it. Welcome to my channel. My name is Steve Gonzalez. Use market profile and bond profile to find structure marks along with supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, and most traded price of the year, the month, the week, the previous day. That is man. I just want to come up from game plans. Now, once that market opens up, I use my market internals to know where money's flowing off the open. Okay. Yesterday, tech, like I said, stock pickers market, right? Technology was getting outflows in some parts, inflows in some parts. Software got inflows. Memory stocks got outflows. Nvidia had a good day. It was all over the place. Okay? That's how I use my market internals. Now, the weekly expected move I just talked about, giveaway for free on my Discord. Gamma flip points, giveaway for free on my Discord. Okay? But throw in a little ICT, that's my own proprietary trading system. Okay? Now, I do this every morning. Hope you subscribe, set that alert. Give you the market story, the market news, the economic calendar, technical analysis. Always give you the long and short trade scenarios in the ES and NASDAQ futures later on in the stream. If you want more in-depth coverage, you're going to join my Discord. Go to my YouTube homepage, click on the link, and sign up. What are you waiting for? Let me be your indicator. Let's get right into the futures watch list, okay? What do we have today? Ethereum up 2.81. Bitcoin back over 60K. All right, up 2.75. Silver liking these unemployment. It's been a dog lately. Okay, it's up 2.26%. Gold up 1.28%. Dollar is descending today. Russell up 0.5%. Dow up 0.36. Nasdaq's up 0.25. ES up 0.22. The 10-year yield is flat. Okay, 30-year bonds being sold. 10 years a little farther down again. Dollar down 0.65. Okay, could we crack under $100? That would be good for equities and commodities. Crude just continues to fall down 1.36, and the VIX is down 2.35%. Let's go to the Max 7. Okay, Coinbase up 3.69%. Micron up 1.27%. All right, Micron is back up. It was down, folks. AMD up 0.95. So semis now are up. They were down pre-market. How quickly the tide changes. Okay, who's down today? Google down 0.61. Meta down 0.67. Now, Meta came out yesterday where they're going to sell some of their computing power or something to generate some revenue. because they have a lot of CapEx spending coming up in the future. Okay, Meta shot up because of that yesterday. Top sectors. Palantir. I saw something with Nvidia, a partnership or something. They've been a dog too, up 8.3. Now, NEM, remember I said that's been a dog as well. Does that mean metals are going to rocket back up from here? I don't know. Oracle up 1.19, Goldman Sachs up 1%. Chevron's up. Interesting. GE Vernova up. There's no laggards in this list. Wow. Wow. Okay. Moving on. Sectors. Semis. Almost up 1%. They were a dog. Now they're up. All right. Followed by financials. Followed by energy. Followed by technology. All right. Who's the dog? I'm using a lot of dogs today. All right. Communications down 0.13. That's not a lot. Okay. And they did get that bump up, like I said, it was just not easy to play that thing. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. That was a play. Not that I know Meta's going to have news. No. Okay. It's just the sector, right? Money flowed into it. Okay. Let's move on to the economic calendar. We already know what happened. We're just going to go over it briefly. Non-farm payrolls. Expected 110, got 57. That's not great. But unemployment dipped down 0.1. Okay, market liked it. She likes it. The market liked it. Okay. Let's see here. We know about this stuff. Let's see here. Slower than expected increase in U.S. employment drove stocks higher while bond yields fell on speculation that the Federal Reserve would not be forced to raise interest rates anytime soon. That's why this market likes it. Trump schedule today. Let's see, July 2nd. I don't pre-tape interview 4 p.m. That's 4 p.m. News. OpenAI proposes handing Trump administration 5% stake. SoftBank renews talks for $10 billion loan against OpenAI stake. U.S. Treasury picks BlackRock, Vanguard ETFs for Trump accounts. Okay. American Eagle names Papa John's executive Ravi Thanawala as CFO. All right. That's what we're going to talk about there. Now, I'm going to skip breadth today just because of these non-farm payrolls changed the scope of what we were looking at yesterday. Now, just look at the dispersion spread right here. Remember, this is at all-time highs. Okay, all-time highs. Whenever, like I'm going to say it again, dispersions 30 days out of individual stocks volatility is a ton more than the stocks, the own SPX volatility. This continues to go higher. Core 3M, top 50 market cap weight stocks. It measures their correlation. When it's low, this typically marks market tops. Every time it's here, you see a top. Every time it's low, you see tops or sideways action. So that's why I have the spread. Okay, like I said, I'm not a bear. I'm saying that there's a correction that probably could happen. Okay, that's what I want to talk about there. All right, we're going to move on. Market internals. Recap. Okay, let's look at this. Now, technology was going between flat to a little positive, to a little negative, to a little all over the place. And the S&P 500 was relatively strong yesterday. You had these sectors green. Okay, and tech was floating, like I said, in between green, a little red, and it may be this ES just to continue to rise. Look how strong this was. Okay, market's not really going to go down much. But then it hit the expected move. And then it looked like, not rollover, but all right, it looked like we could roll over. Okay, so like I said, there's really what you call it, everything was benign here in these numbers, nothing crazy. But tech, what I said, DRAM, particular DRAM ETF, the memory stocks, They got hit yesterday. Okay. Now, dailies. Dailies. Let's do it. Let's go to these daily charts. Okay. Now, see, SPY hit the weekly expected move. It swept the previous day's highs and then had a little doji. Okay. Where are we now? 747, 50s. We are, look at that, we're in the upper third of yesterday's session. Upper third right now. The 9 EMA daily hasn't crossed the 20, but generally, if you look in history, when it crosses, look at that, right? And then it crosses back, that's where we're at. But still garbage. Okay? Still garbage. We're in the middle of garbage. Don't fool yourself. We're in garbage. All right, now, futures. We're starting to form a balance area. We're starting to form a balance area. Where are we? In daily supply. Remember I said this is not going to be easy. And it gives the illusion that, oh my God, we're ripping apart. And it couldn't do it. All right, so we're starting a balance area. Now, is this a swing high? I don't know. Because then you got another daily supply. Like I said, it's not going to be easy. News, something's going to have to take us up there that we don't know about. Moving on. Qs. Now, they were the dog yesterday. Today, they're relatively stronger. Let me take that back. Let me take that back. I'm taking that back right now. Forget what I just said. All right, now, Qs yesterday. Look over to 20. And the 9 EMA daily did cross. Okay? Did cross. Not by the expected move like the SPY. 727 right now. Ugh, horrible. You're in the middle of yesterday. You're in the middle of yesterday. Disgusting. All right, disgusting. It's not a good location. Now, based here, right? Went into daily supply yesterday and had a tough go of it, right? Remember when I said yesterday, I think the easier trade is to the short side. Even though ES defied that, the NASDAQ showed me yes, right? And the NASDAQ pulled down the ES eventually. Eventually. Now, if you look at this, it just undercut 2 sessions. It just undercut 2 sessions. If you look at that like a sweep, can we head up to the 305s today? Maybe, because now, remember, you got to work off this daily supply. Work it off. Work it off, right? I don't know. But the 20-day is still declining. The 9 EMA just crossed it. It is disgusting. Look at this. You got a big wedge forming here, okay? Who knows which way this is going to go? We're going to have earnings coming up, okay? We'll have to see. Hourlies. Let's do the hourlies. Let's do the hourlies. Okay. Yesterday was gross. Okay, so what do we do? Now we have a new most traded price of the week, 75.56. That's where we are now. Not a surprise. Not a surprise. Okay, not a surprise. And that probably doesn't matter anymore. This little equal high really doesn't matter anymore. Okay, so look at that right there. You have a new demand zone. Let's put that on the chart. That's the scene of the crime from the non-farm payrolls. Now, I could put an anchor view up right there. But let's see. Ooh, that little equal high right here looks tempting. Okay, if you hold the 75.56s, I'm saying that probably be bullish. You have a lot of support down here, a lot of big demand down here. Okay. You just got some positive news. I don't know what's going to happen. Now, what makes this difficult is the friggin' anchor. Okay, is that just a dip buy? Is it a dip buy for DRAM? I'm sorry, Micron, SanDisk, Western Digital. Do those dips get bought today? Is there enough of a dip yesterday? I don't know. Now, there was a descending wedge here, We just broke it and we're back inside it. Okay. Now you took out this supply. Got to get rid of it. You took out that, but guess what? You took out this equal highs, right? And you're back under it. And you're back under the most traded price of the week, which is 302. Bearish structure, folks. Now we do have a demand. Let's get rid of this. We do have a demand right here with that data that came out. Okay. We do have a demand. Stack demand now, right? Of course, it's going to make it difficult. Yesterday was just like, okay, I went. Oh, my boy, my God. Sorry. That just shows probably no one's watching. This is the hourly charts. I totally didn't have that up, and it doesn't matter. No one's watching, I guess. All right. So this wedge in the NASDAQ just broke it underneath the most traded price of the week. Let me just review real quick the ES. Like I said, at the most traded price of the week, a lot of demand below. Okay, you have supply above us. It's going to be a weird market. Again, remember today, maybe from the first, this volume can get very low. Okay. Now, I did talk about Micron yesterday when I was live. I'll show it to you anyway. I don't know if anybody's watching because I'm not usually in the scheduled time, but I was talking about the gamma flip point for the month. It broke it right there. And I said 1050 was the next one. Look at that. Boom. But where are we now, though? 1048. We're up here. Now, I don't know what the gamma is going to be today. That was yesterday's levels. Just showing you that. Okay. We're going to move on. We're going to move on. And I'm all over the place because I just showed you the wrong window. It's going to be down and dirty real quick because the market's going to be opening. Okay. It's the market profile, volume profile. And you can see the balance area that is forming here. You can see it. And we have some levels to talk about, right? So let's get into the ES long and short trade scenarios. Level to look at the 75, 79s, the 76s. That's going to be a confluence high, overnight highs, and yesterday's highs. Okay. We do have a poor low or an equal low in the overnight, 75.20. Now, this market's not really showing its hand much. We're at the most traded price of the week, 75.55s, let's call it. Let's break out the session. All right. All right, we're going to get right into it. Let's start with longs here. Okay, so what do I want to see? All right, we're pretty much, what are we, 100%, maybe 80 to 90% net long in the overnights right now. Okay, so what do I want to see? You have some selling here. The most traded price yesterday was 7551. The most traded price of the week is 7555. All right, what do I want to see? Well, we could dip down very quickly. And the most traded price of the rolling month in a 24-hour chart is 75.44. So we're in ultimate balance here. Okay. It's probably going to roll to that way. Remember, 74.60 is the most traded price of the month currently in my RTH chart, but probably would move here. So this is ultimate balance. This could cause a huge move up today. So if we pull back to the 75.44s, hold the 75.56s, right? Most traded price of the week, target that level we talked about, yesterday's highs, the overnight highs, 75.76 to 75.79, and there is heavy supply above us. There is last week's highs above us at 7,600, let's call it. So any retest and hold of the 75.55s or a little below quickly, the 75.44s is a long. Okay. Shorts. We're going to talk about a short. All right. Let's talk about it. All right. This is just not an easy short here now. It's not. Kind of positive news. Now, shorts would be if we rip up very quickly into this supply around the 75.80s area. If we sweep that level, put in a lower high, then you can short that. Okay, target the most traded price of the week, the 75.56s, right? And then see if you can hold a runner and go for that poor low, equal low, 75.20s, and then try to take out yesterday's low, 75.05s. Okay, I think that's really what I would like to see as far as right now in the ES. We'll move on to the NASDAQ. Okay, NASDAQ looks totally different. Boy, does that look different. We don't really have a balance area. We don't. Okay, let's get into the long and short trade scenarios in the NASDAQ now. Okay, let's break out the session. Boom, 30-minute bars. Okay, remember what I said. Hit the month-to-date anchor view up is rejected right now, and below 302 is the most traded price of the week and the most traded price of yesterday. That is a wall. Remember that descending wedge as well. Okay. I'm gonna figure out, is Micron and SanDisk gonna get outflows today, or was at a dip by now? I don't know. Okay, I really don't know. We are in the middle of yesterday, but that level is key to 302s. That's your bull bear line today. That's your bull bear line. Remember, the ES looks better for a long here. Okay, and again, makes it difficult. The ES looks better for a long. Okay, so let's start with the longs. I'm going to start with longs because right now, that's what we're going to do. Okay, right here, we're at that most short period. So it's clear as day for me. And you have a balanced market in the NASDAQ. Really balanced. The open is right in the middle of the session of the overnights. Okay, so what I want to see? I want to see it rip above the 302s. Retest the 302s with positive internals. You go long at 302. Target yesterday's highs, 305.07s. There is supply there. There is supply there. Okay, maybe you can make it up to the 305s and finally take out that bearish FEG and complete it. I don't know. Now, see, when you get the pullback under the 302s in the NASDAQ, I am not as ecstatic for a long. I'm not. Okay? I need to see the 302 find acceptance above it. That's really my long today. Yes, can it come down here? But it's probably going to be weak. So I'm going to leave that. That's probably what I want today. Shorts. Okay? The inverse of what I just said. So if we, couple things, I'll give you two. If we come up, right, try to break the 302s, reject it, tech getting outflows, you retest 302s, that's a short. You target that equal low at the 29826s, that overnight low. That is equal. That's going to be a drawn liquidity. You do still have poor structure down to the 29717s and happens to be the most traded price of the month. If you fall below the most traded price of the month, you could really drop. You could really drop. Okay. The other scenario, okay, would be take out this demand, right? Take it out. Retest those 302s as well. Short, target, overnight lows. And those 297 area, 29740 area. Okay. That's it for me today, folks. Tried to give you quick and dirties because that market's going to open in about 7 minutes. Okay. So overall outlook over the 75.55s is a long in the ES. Okay. Over the 302s and the NASDAQ is a long. Under the 302s and the NASDAQ is a short. Okay. That's the bottom line right there. Smash the like button if you enjoyed that analysis. That'd be much appreciated. Okay. As always, I do this every morning. Please subscribe, set that alert, give you the market story and economic calendar, the news, technical analysis, and I just gave you the long and short trade scenarios in the ES and the NASDAQ futures. Now, if you want more in-depth coverage, you're going to join my Discord. That's Confluence Trading. Go to my YouTube homepage, click on the link, and sign up. What are you waiting for? Let me be your indicator. Now, it should be going live around 9:45 a.m. today. Please come join me. Now, we all have our process. I hope everybody has a great day and has a nice weekend. This is the last trading day of the week. Okay? Remember, no trade's a trade. If I don't see you on my Discord, I will see everybody Monday morning. Take care.